Oh boy. Alright, so... Here? Okay. I hope I don't have another fight. I really don't. Really hope I don't have another fight. Whoa, Jesus! Okay, she was not that bad. Sub 1 hour timer.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much
Death
deserved
gurgles.
and long overdue. And you lunatic,
Oh.
you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you alright? What did I do to you?
I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Well, yeah. Great, and I was just about ready to pop up some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
What should I say? What should I say? You know, okay. So, I'm going to choose... Somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only competent person left.
You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
All right, is that...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought...
Oh, this is the
But the board...
This is what Fallout 4 should have had.
For decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, Many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny.
Nice.
Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks.
Nice.
Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp.
Yep, I chose the camp.
Into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away.
Oh, what?
Likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established
Adelaide,
town.
I thought you would take more in.
Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's tradition.
Okay.
The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs.
Too bad.
It was a dark time indeed. Ellie savored her adventures on the Unreliable.
She's literally the only companion that survived. The other two died.
Running missions of dubious
in the last fight.
Shunning respectable work, and living life to the fullest. She meant to reach out to her one-time captain, but she was always bad at keeping in touch. Unshackled from a lifetime of rising and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was at peace when he sacrificed his life as part of the crew of the Unreliable. Parvati didn't survive her adventure with you. Nyoka didn't survive her adventure with you. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony.
Good on you.
Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals.
Yeah.
In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists.
I mean, you can't save them all.
He revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope.
I wonder how many had fun.
What about you? The unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon. You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
There we go, folks. There we go. Oh, I had fun playing this game. I really wish I played New Vegas before playing this game, but at the same time, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have been spoiled with VATS and everything, with how Obsidian had done a Fallout game, and then been like, because everything I heard is like, oh, this is like Fallout in space. And I didn't, and I'm so glad that I didn't play Fallout New Vegas before playing this game, because then I would have had the expectations of what Fallout would have been, you know, Obsidian making a Fallout game and then Obsidian doing their own IP. Because, I mean, the only Fallout game I've ever played, which, I'm sorry, actually, no, I played 2 Fallout games, both of them horrible. Well, one of them okay, second one horrible. Yeah, at its core, it is... At its core, it is like Fallout in space. But at the same time, it's different enough that it's not. Obsidian took... I mean, because the two main people who wrote the story are Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 creators of, and they work at Obsidian. And you can tell it's a good story. It's very well centered. It has a beginning. It has an end. And that's what a good game has. It makes sense from beginning to end. Unlike some other games that, from a certain developer that starts with a B and ends with an A, that is going through hard times right now. So, all right, folks, I'm gonna let this scroll, because whenever it's a game that I really, truly, truly enjoy, the one thing I like to do is to recognize everybody that has done a wonderful job on the game. So I let the credits roll to show appreciation for everybody that has done work on this. So I really appreciate everybody that has worked on this. Reed. I don't know who Reed is. At least I don't remember Reed. Or do I? Oh yeah, I remember Reed. But I really appreciate everybody that has done work on this game. And I really can't wait to see what Obsidian has in store for us in the future. Especially since Microsoft has bought them. Now, I know everybody, you know, Microsoft buying all these studios this past year. What does it mean for them? It probably means a lot for them. Does it mean that we'll get, like, The Outer Worlds 2? I hope so. I would love to see this story continued. Do we know what might happen? I have no idea. Do we know where they could go with it? I have no idea. Could we, like, since this is like the beginning of the Halcyon system, what if now they go decades or centuries in the future, and now it's the Halcyon system in the future, and it's corporations rising yet again, or a new threat comes, or a new something happens? We have no idea. I want to know what happens. I hope they continue with this new IP. But at the same time, they did a good job with just making it. If they only ended with this, I'm happy. They did a beginning. They had a beginning of the game. They had a middle of the game. They had an end of the game. So they did a good job. I am very happy with what they did. So. But, you know, at the same time, I still hope that they make more. I would love to see more. So now that I have beaten this game, which, by the way, if you guys have not checked out the PC Game Pass, that's how I played this game. I got the Xbox PC Game Pass for $1 for the first month, and that's how I played this game. Well worth it for $1. But even so, so good. I'd probably buy this game. What are we gonna do? Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this finish out, and I'm gonna end the credits. I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, so worth it. I'm probably gonna keep the subscription. Because you know, there's a lot of good games on that service, and I might want to check out a few more. But no, what I plan on doing is I plan on going ahead and like shutting down the stream for a couple hours, so give myself some time to eat, relax, and then I'll be coming back probably in a couple hours, and I think I'll probably do either a Monster Hunter World or probably Pokemon. One of the two. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But basically the rest of this year, you know, I might just do Monster Hunter World. I need to get back into that game. I need to get myself ready for Iceborne. So if anybody out there has a Monster Hunter World for PC, because I play on PC, boot it up, get it ready, because I will be getting myself ready back into the game. Yeah. Oh, you need to get back into it as well? Yeah. So like I said, I am going to take a break for a couple hours. And I am... You probably won't be awake in 2 hours. That's fine.